4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So welcome to the third and final review of the week as we tackle Lumines Remastered. Right. So I should hope I wouldn't have to explain Lumines, but it's actually been quite a while since the heyday of this game. And it was pretty big, say about 2004, 2005, you know, middle of last decade. If you missed it, this was a game released on the original PlayStation Portable. It was a launch title, in fact. And I think I mentioned it in the lead up, but this was probably the last great Tetris style, or at least one of the last great Tetris style puzzle games. Because
before everything got taken over by match-3 puzzlers.
Yes.
Bejeweled came in and just kicked everyone's ass.
I was going to say, but then everything changed when Bejeweled attacked.
Yeah, not wrong.
But, this is very much in the style of Tetris. It's using tetraminos, all 4x4 square blocks. But the kick is a lot of the visual presentation and how you clear things. When you line up 4 similarly colored square spaces, it will light up and it won't vanish right away. The blocks vanish in tune to the beat of the music. There's an actual line going by, and when that line goes by, those blocks vanish. And
so that helps set up combos, the fact that things don't disappear immediately, or?
Yes. What you want to do is you want to keep for every 2 blocks you add, the space gets bigger. If they're colored the same way, and
colored and adjacent.
Yes, if they're split off, then they're going to count as separate entities. And though if you rush into things, you might misalign your blocks. I speak from experience on this one. Yeah. But back when this launched in 2004, it took the world by storm.
I think for a while it was a pack-in title with the PSP, wasn't it?
I'm not sure if it was ever a package or a bundled game, but it was certainly one of it was one of the most notable PlayStation portable games.
I can't remember if it was a pack-in or it might have been had a demo on a sampler or UMD or something.
Well, it's also the game didn't stay on the PlayStation Portable for long. The original
didn't stay only or didn't stay at all.
It didn't stay on the PSP for very long, because, for example, there was a Plus version ported to the PlayStation 2, Lumines Plus. There was a sequel, Lumines 2, which saw a version. There were mobile versions. There was an original PC version, which I actually purchased back in the day, but you can't get anymore.
For obvious reasons.
Well, I'm not sure when it went out of print, but my first experience with Lumines was with the original PC version. which I played, God, way back in the day, maybe 2009, 2010. But it is a cut down version. Um, if we ran through all the different versions and sequels and what have yous, we would be here a while. The game was very, there was a live version. Anyway, and this was the game. This was a game created by Tetsuya Mizuguchi, the mastermind behind such things as Space Channel 5 and Rez. And this was also the first and one of the flagship outings of Q Entertainment, which I'm not sure is in business anymore, because the remastered version was done by his new studio, Resonaire, which also handled like the recent Res Infinite and is working on the upcoming Tetris Effect. But if you're familiar with Tetsuya Mizuguchi's style, this fits very much into it. It's got a very unique visual and aural sound. And also, if you've got a vibrating controller, it's going to make use of that. In fact, according to Mizuguchi, the reason why he brought Luminous back was because of the Nintendo Switch. Apparently, he wanted to see how this would work with HD Rumble. Now, I played the PC version, so I do not know how it works with the particular functionalities of the Nintendo Switch. We didn't get a Switch copy. I can tell you the vibration functions of my Xbox One controller do pulse in the to the beat, and the beat will change depending on the skin. So that's the backstory of Luminous. What we got here is most of the original game. That is to say, there's nothing subtracted, but it did add the skin edit feature, which is from Luminous 2.
Interesting.
Yes. I'm not sure if they imported any skins from Luminous 2. I'll admit, once again, I never played the PlayStation Portable games, so I know some of the skins from Luminous 1. Like the Shining skin. I'll be honest, I'm kind of already sick of the Shining skin because, well, here's one of the things that always kind of took me out of Luminous. To unlock shit, at the very least, you have to play, like, most of these stuff that you unlock is from the basic mode, the main mode, where you play through it's 100 levels. You play through, and at certain levels you reach a new skin, and when you reach that, the song will change, sometimes drastically, but the aesthetics will change, once again, sometimes drastically, and you have to go through those same things every fucking time, and you get tired of like the beginning skins after the 20th playthrough. This is kind of why this, shuffle mode and the skin edit pack thing exists in the first place. Unfortunately, you have to do progression to get, and you have to get about 10 skins before that kind of functionality gets unlocked in the first place. And there are about 50 skins from what I saw. I've only got about 11 unlocked right now. But it's just the repetition of going through the main mode kind of dissuades me from really connecting with this like some others did. Like, I knew people back in the day, like back in college, who absolutely adored Luminous. But I'll be honest. I was like, maybe it was because I played the PC game. I was a bigger fan of Meteos. That's the other Q Entertainment puzzle game. That was for the DS and had one of the best uses of the touchscreen of that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why I bring up it's the original game outside of the additions is because, like, the original release of Luminous on the PC did not omitted a lot of stuff. What you get in this package is you get the regular mode, challenge mode. No, I'm trying to remember if challenge is yeah, challenge is the what they call the main mode, and that's got 3 sub modes. Time attack, which is get as many blocks and combos in a set amount of time, like 60, 120, 180 seconds. I'll be honest, I didn't play too much of this because I didn't really care for it. Puzzle mode.
It's usually like solve
Yeah.
this whole thing in like one move.
There are actually 2 puzzle modes. That's what I think I'm getting hung up on. There's you got to build an object out of the colors, out of the shapes. Like build a square or build a dog or a dog-like approximation, which you can do out of square blocks. Like that one I found frustrating more than anything else, mainly because the normal rules of Luminous apply. So when you're trying to line up the blocks, sometimes you get the colors and they'll go away and they ruin your shape.
Yeah, that'd be a pain.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, the challenge puzzle mode. Yeah, puzzle mode. It's what you said, Galax. It's get rid of the blocks in a certain amount of moves, or leave a column open, that kind of thing. That was much more enjoyable. You got the versus CPU mode, which is you battle against AI opponents, and I will say right now the AI is too fucking difficult for its own good. Like, it ramps up way too fucking quickly. You'll start struggling around the 3rd match, and there are like 10 floors of this. I've cracked. I think my best is so far level 4, but like you will get overwhelmed quickly if you. So playing strategically really isn't an option. You can restart as many times as you want, but I'm going to tell you, at a certain point, it's probably going to come down to luck beating the AI. And alongside with this is 2-player mode. Like, trying to remember if this is online multiplayer. Yeah, no, it's local multiplayer only. So, it's a pretty meaty package. And one of the best aspects is this game is going for $15. At least the base price. The thing is, at time of recording, they're doing the digital deluxe DLC bundle is free for 2 weeks. Yes, like, but it does. That's not any content. Unlike some other, like back in the day, this game did, like, Luminous did have DLC. Like, it had a shit ton of DLC on like the Xbox Live Arcade. But that's because everything was chopped down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Luminous Remastered Digital Deluxe DLC Steam bundle includes 5 Luminous-themed avatars of your favorite characters, 4K desktop wallpapers, digital soundtrack sampler featuring 20 original songs. The DLC bundle will be sold separately after the promo ends. Thing is, this is free right now, so I couldn't tell you how much it's going to cost after that grace.
And of note, those avatars are for use like on outside of the game, like on Steam, on Twitter, insert whatever social media you want to use it on.
Right. I'm like, and I don't think this is available on the console versions, but once again, I'm kind of clouded on the release structure of those. Um, Now, would I recommend Luminous Remastered? Absolutely. Honestly, it's one of the best games I've played all year. It's not a surprise. Like, Luminous is an inherently great game. It's not my favorite puzzle game of all time. It's not my favorite Tetris style puzzle of all time. That's still Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's kind of hard to beat Tetris.
yeah, it's like I just find Tetris to be a bit more pure in its design. Like, I don't have to wait around and all that stuff. Yeah, I just like, but I will say, Luminous Remastered is an excellent game, and I probably recommend the Switch version, even though I haven't played it. I'm like,
Yeah, this
because
this is one of those. The Switch version might actually be the best way to play this one as well.
that's what I'm getting at. Because Luminous, I've personally found is a game I like playing for 30 to about 30 minutes or so. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely a game I would rather enjoy playing on the go. And keep in mind, it was built for a portable system originally.
Yeah.
Now, why you might want to get the PC or the console versions is down to resolution and bitrate. The game has been remastered up to 4K, and the music is higher quality, or is rather, it's the original music files, but they didn't. It's not downsampled anymore. That's another thing that kind of happened with the original releases back in the day. They used the music from the PlayStation Portable version, so that had that downsampling in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably something that only like music geeks or people who are really into tech care about, but it is there. And it's not like it's easy to get the original versions of Luminous anyway. At least I don't think so. Like, I don't know if any of the previous versions are available on like the PlayStation Store or what have you.
I think if you're in the US at least, you can probably get the like PSP version because they haven't shut that store down yet.
Let me just see if it's on the any Luminous game is on the. Yeah, it looks like outside of Remastered, Luminous Electronic Symphony is on the PlayStation Store, which I believe is the. Yeah, this is the PlayStation Vita version of the game, or a PlayStation Vita release. Oh, right. I almost forgot about one important aspect of the gameplay. If as the game progresses, you're probably going to get blocks that are locked off, and it might get hard to dig down into the blocks. Every so often, a special block will appear that will clear the area of all connected colored blocks of the same variety.
Mm-hmm.
And that will factor into your strategies. Anyway, yeah. If I had to give a score, 9 out of 10, like, do not hesitate to get this game at your first earliest convenience. Mm-hmm. It's well worth $15. I mean, hell, I think this game clocked in at like $30 or whatever the running price of a PlayStation Portable game was back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I know inflation is still a thing, but it's definitely this would be worth it at say $20 or whatever. So it's an excellent package of an excellent game that is, once again, widely available on the current generation of systems.
Mhm.
Any other questions or thoughts on Lumines Remastered here?
Not that I can think of.
All right. So that will about do it for this review session.
Hmm.
Coming up on the week ahead, um, we do have a Tuesday interview this week, as we will be welcoming Stav of Chronic Spartan. Um, he is the creator of Glow, which we did a review about last year. And we'll be talking about his upcoming project, Gem Empire, um, which is a tycoon game, a
Hmm.
traditional tycoon game at that. None of this computer tycoon grand strategy business. And coming up on July 4th, Wednesday, at an early time, 7 o'clock p.m. for Eastern, 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific. I'm probably going to mention that again because it isn't our traditional broadcast time, but once again, we're broadcasting on a holiday. So, anyway, we'll be welcoming James Montagna of Way Forward Technologies. Sure, everyone's looking forward to this one. Um, he is a designer and director at Way Forward Technologies. Um, I'll be honest, this interview may take the entirety of the broadcast.
Will depend somewhat on how open and conversant they are.
Yeah, but he's been I got his LinkedIn profile here. He's been working there for 11 years.
Hmm.
So that's a long time at Way Forward, and Way Forward has done a lot of things. So whenever that happens, I plan on, we may not be talking about anything else but what he does for the entirety of the episode.
Hmm.
You know, but it may not happen. So we do have a topic of discussion planned. No worries there. But anyway, until Tuesday, I shall wish you good gaming.